What's up, YouTube? It is Wednesday, first day of June, and I'm headed across town right at rush hour. 5:08 p.m. Didn't really have a whole lot to talk about other than just check in, talk about what happened today, stuff like that. Figured I'd talk to somebody since I'm probably going to be sitting in traffic for a while. I can't figure out how to get those two pictures off the screen. I guess maybe I need to be smarter. Started the day off with an install job. Myself and Oakwood HVAC replacing a 2.5 ton split gas furnace and air conditioning. I got there right at 8 o'clock and I didn't have any details on the job. So I assumed that it was probably just replacing the air conditioning. My dispatch actually had the price of the job sale, and based on the price, I didn't think that it was going to be a whole system. So I just took out the evaporator coil and the condenser and the supply plenum, and got a little bit of information after I'd done that the job was a complete system. So went back inside and took the furnace out, the return plenum, and got everything ready to come down and out of the attic. Oakwood showed up a little after 9 o'clock, and we got to going, and right at 3 o'clock the system was up and running. I had a service call to get to, so I peeled off while David finalized the details with the customer, and I got on to my service call. The service call was actually a job I had been to 6/22 of last year, and at that time we had just done a tune-up special. I do remember that the condenser coil was very dirty, and so on that one I cleaned the condenser coil before I checked anything out, and everything checked out fine at that time. I had a target superheat of like 25, and I was within, I think, 1 degree of that target superheat. So last summer the system was fine, and now it wasn't cooling very well. Everything was running, but it wasn't cooling so well. Put the gauges on and had a 25 psi suction, or 22, and I don't remember what the head was, maybe $1.70. 82 degrees of superheat. So I discussed the situation with the customer. Our price on refrigerant just changed the other day to keep up with the market. So we are quite a bit higher than we had been a week ago. So I talked to him and I said, I can go per ounce if you would like, but I'm going to expect that it's going to take at least 2 pounds to get you back in the ballpark of, normal cooling. He was kind of sticker shocked on the price of refrigerant, but it is what it is. So welcome to my one viewer so far. Throw up a comment so I can see who you are. So I added a pound and I was up to like 52 psi on the suction. Still had high superheat. The customer agreed to add another pound. I said another pound should get us within, some semblance of operation. And it did. Welcome to viewer number 2 and 3. But the pressures were within target for a 12 SEER system. But the superheat target was 22, and I had a 36 degree superheat. Welcome to viewer number 4. After exactly 2 pounds, I gave him the option of getting the superheat right on the money, and he declined to spend any more money, especially if the system was leaking. Our target temperature split was within a degree or a degree and a half.
Continue on to I-40 West.
I think it was within a degree. So we were getting the general performance, and the pressures were within range, and the superheat was the only thing still out of range a bit. Finished that one up, and I was expecting that was going to be the end of my day, but I am on call Wednesday nights.
5.6 miles.
So
take exit 295
I've got another service call on the other side of town. So I'm fighting traffic, trying to get across town at rush hour. Welcome to viewer number 5. I'm actually going back to a house where I had checked out the other system on the house. I don't remember details on it at this point, but the downstairs system I checked out last week on an Angie's List special. Basically, we're offering a prepaid diagnostic on Angie's List at a ridiculously low price. One of those get your foot in the door type things that drives me insane. I understand it works, but it always feels like a baiting situation. Seems to me like you'd be better off just charging a reasonable diagnostic and service fee, and just selling your quality rather than, lowballing just to get in the door. Tell people what you do. Tell people, why you're better than the next guy. And wow, we got number 6 and number 7. Welcome to number 6 and number 7 viewer. So I don't know what's going on over there. I don't remember them mentioning any issues with the other system at the time I was there last week, but things can pop up pretty quick when you are running your air conditioning. I haven't picked up a whole lot of footage of anything recently. There really hasn't seemed to be a lot that was worth recording. So I do have some footage that I'll be putting up in clips on my vlog channel from the Memorial Day weekend. The wife and I and Whiskey ran away over to Boone, North Carolina, and enjoyed a Airbnb rental over there just to get out of the area for the weekend. It was nice and quiet. Got to see some mountains and some other stuff. Somebody has left me a comment and I can't figure out how to see it. Well, I can, but I'm having issues. Stand by for technical difficulties. Everyone is sticker shocked buy R22 now. This is true, Danny. Danny Crawford, thanks for the comment. Yeah, our price previous to the price change was significantly lower. It jumped over $30 per pound. I think we were hanging on to a lower price a lot longer than we should have, but every time we change the price book, you know, you got to make sure that the old price book's out of the field and that everybody's using the new price book. So it can be a bit of a debacle trying to get all the old price books out of the loop. So I don't know what I'm getting into. I was talking about videos. I do have some footage of Project Rardonizer, and I do still have more work to do over there. I still have a video to put up on the final product for my system, Project Rardon, which will come eventually. So I've got a lot of things to do, but when you're busy sitting at the computer trying to make something of a bunch of run in the mouth in front of a camera can be kind of aggravating. There is something that should be a lot of fun coming up that I'm planning to post on my vlog channel, even though I'd get a much higher viewership on my channel. I don't know if you guys have heard of the mouth guard challenge. The name isn't really very accurate because it's not really a mouth guard. It's a cheek depressor or something. It basically spreads your cheeks out. Chris, somebody or other, Vinyl, I know I just butchered that one, asks how much we charge per pound for our 22. Our price just changed to $109 a pound. So I think we're actually competitive in the market to other price points, but definitely higher than Mr. Eric M. He says he's at 75. Yeah, we were down around 75 previously. But anyway, I'm going to do a live stream of the mouth guard challenge on my vlog channel coming up maybe this weekend, depending on how the weekend goes, this coming weekend.
Take exit 295 onto Gorman Street, then
well,
turn
good,
left.
Vinyl. Cool. But I'm going to do a live stream of the mouth guard challenge on my vlog channel. As with all of my HVAC, my vlogs, and my guns channels, they are HVAC with Stephen Rardon, Vlog with Stephen Rardon, and Guns with Stephen Rardon. Pretty hard to find. And like I said, we might try to do that this weekend. So if you're not subscribed to my vlog channel, go over to a Vlog with Stephen Rardon and subscribe to that channel to enjoy the hilarity that will undoubtedly ensue. Bunch of different things that we can do with the mouth guard challenge. So I think you guys would enjoy watching that, and I hope it is at least amusing.
You can save 4 minutes by taking a different route.
I can save 4 minutes with a different route, huh? Well, 4 minutes is nothing compared to the hour that I'm driving already. And I don't really want to recalculate, so shut up. Yeah. What are you guys getting into? What'd you guys do for the Memorial Day weekend? Leave me a comment. Tell me what kind of fun you had. What else we got to talk about? You know, it's funny. This was probably the first time that I gave any thought to the potential. I'm really chafed on my face from sweating and rubbing the sweat. This call that I was talking about earlier with the sticker shock on R22.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Triangle.
It's the first time that I thought about doing or trying to talk to the boss about offering 407C as a refrigerant alternative. But the thing with that, in my mind, is that you can't put it on a leaking system, obviously, because you'd have to recover all the R22 that was left, fix the leak to be able to convert it, and then change your O-rings, Schrader cores, all that stuff. So the changeover price would be high and pretty much comparable to either fixing a leak and recharging with R22. I mean, you still have to fix the leak, is kind of the breaking point of the whole subject.
Right onto Triangle
something
Road.
that you could just put in. I mean, none of the alternative refrigerants make sense to me as a price option when you have to fix the problem in the first place. I mean, if you've got a leaking system, you need to fix the leak before you can do much of anything other than add refrigerant and wait for it to leak down again. And if you were going to convert to any other refrigerant, you still have to fix the leak. Exactly. Eric M. says, you're better off selling on the new system. It's not worth investing all that money into a old system that's out of warranty. My thoughts exactly. If you're going to actually do a conversion properly, put a compressor in, I mean, if it's old enough already, I understand that people may not have the cash flow to do a complete system, but they might be able to afford a compressor. But at that point, you offer financing options, right? To anybody. You just have to have that option available. But anyway, Danny Crawford says, more cost effective to just replace. You are correct. So anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. And since I'm driving, it is kind of hard to actually read the comments and respond to the banter. So, our company, Chris Vinyl, runs flat rate pricing. So, you know, we could offer a time and material when necessary, but, you know, pump down or evacuate, you know, pressure test, etc. Our flat rate for stuff like that is $600 to $800 if you're doing a complete process, you know, whether you're changing a TXV or whatever.
In half a mile, turn left onto Holly Springs Road.
If it's in warranty, you know, we're $500-600. If we're out of warranty, we're double that a lot of times. People finance $30,000 to $50,000 cars that they spend an hour a day in and then complain about the price of a few $1,000s to change out their air conditioners. Yes, sir. The same guy that buys a Maserati just cries over the fact that he has to spend $5,000 on an off the back of the truck guy that stole it from the supply house side job installer. Just blows my mind that they'll spend that kind of money on a car and then a system that keeps their house comfortable. I don't care what brand it is. It's ridiculous. You spend ridiculous amounts of money on your vehicle and don't think anything about it because there's sex appeal. That's where the benefit of a car is. He might go out and get laid driving his Maserati, but he's never going to get a girl to come home with him because of his air conditioner. I don't care if it's the
Turn left
Train
onto Holly Springs
XV20.
Road.
Chris Vinyl, I hear you on that one, buddy. I have been, at least for 5 years now, I've been chasing a position that will allow me to get out of the field. Hold on a second. The boss is calling. Hello? Yes, sir. The one I just left, 2 pounds of refrigerant low. He cried about the new prices, but paid him anyway. And I'm headed to another diagnostic, and I don't know exactly what I'm getting into there. Rush hour traffic is, a bear. I'm headed south, Holly Springs. Yep. Denver. All right. Thank you. Bye. The boss says sell, sell, sell. Anyway, back to Chris Vinyl and his comment about going on my own. When I moved to North Carolina, I was an install helper. And moved up to foreman pretty quick, but spent about 5 years at Service Experts in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it was good at the time. It was a good place to get my teeth cut in maintenance and service, and since they had at the time like 7,000 maintenance customers, if service wasn't busy, you had plenty of maintenance to do. So it was a great place to get your teeth cut on maintenance and service. But the more I spent in a big corporate situation like that, more time I spent like there, I realized that I really didn't care for the big box stores. So I quit Service Experts and moved on to a smaller company where I thought that I had an option of moving towards install management, install supervisor, but oh great, looks like I just got another after hours call. But anyway, I quit Service Experts, moved on to another company, spent about 90 days there, and realized that I wasn't going to have the option of moving up to install supervision or management. So I quit that, moved on to another company. Spent about 90 days there. A couple of things went wrong. Had a bit of a disagreement with the owner, and so I quit that. And moved on to another company back in Raleigh, another experts company, and I spent about 3 years there. Talked to the general management there several times about moving out of the field into a supervisory role, where I wasn't expected to run calls unless it was slammed, where I would be training and helping set up installs and help people do a better job. I spent about 3 years there, and all those discussions never went anywhere. So I started looking again, and I found Cape Fear. And when I moved to Cape Fear, the other experts company suddenly offered a supervisory role, but I said, I'm not here to try to get more money or anything. I'm giving you my notice because I'm done. You can't talk me into, any more time here. I've spent enough. My requests to be taken out of the field and moved into a supervisory role have fallen on deaf ears. So, goodbye. And when I hired on at Cape Fear, the guy that hired me, Mr. Jeremy, really good guy, very stand-up man. I said the only reason I'm coming is to eventually hit supervisory and management at some point. If that's not on the books, I'm not going to bother. I can do the same thing here. So for the past 5 years, I've been trying to get out of the field and into management. Now, if you go on on your own, that's as far away from getting out of the field as you can possibly stretch your imagination. That's more like becoming everything within the company. Ralph Wolf knows this. Chuck Pierce, Zach Ciota, John Israel, they all know what it is to run their own show, and it's not a cakewalk. It's nothing like getting out of the field. Before I forget, Chris Vinyl, I have no thoughts on Stay-Bright 8. Never used it. I guess it's got its benefits, but I've got no opinion. So, if I go out on my own, I'm sure as heck not getting out of the field. I'm only diving deeper into doing absolutely every part of the business. And not terribly comfortable with that. If I start now at 34 and go out on my own, right now, if I stay with a company and I get some management position and I stick to it, I can retire eventually. But if I go out on my own, the thought of retirement is basically non-existent. It just, you look at Ralph, he's a good bit older than me, and, the guy's been killing it for a long time, and unless he's done something amazing with his YouTube money and his 401k on a personal level or whatever, there's not a whole lot of retirement in a one-man show until you die. You're going to run that one-man show forever. Now, Greg Fox over at Fox Family over in Sacramento, he's talking about probably getting some people on board at some point. But he's expecting to be solo for a long time, or several years at least, before he ever hires anybody. I know the guy that actually first got me into HVAC, Tony Johnson and Associates up there in Ohio. He's got to be pushing 60, and he's still beaten down on everything. The guy is a machine. But he's not focusing on heating and air conditioning as his retirement. He's collecting and developing a bunch of rental properties. So he is his own maintenance man for a bunch of rental properties, and that makes more sense as a potential retirement package than trying to do, a one-man show heating and air conditioning until you're 90. At that point, watch out. You're going to be old and crotchety, and everybody's going to wonder what you'll say next. So, if for whatever reason Cape Fear doesn't work for me, I may give it a shot running on my own show, but I don't see that as a long game unless you run your own show and you build a company out of your customer base that you develop personally. You can't stay small and end up retiring. There's nothing in it other than, hopefully you're really good with your money and you don't burn it on beer every weekend. And you put it away and you save and invest somewhere. Oh, I love HVAC. There's nothing I'd rather do than heating and air conditioning, but I just don't see an end if I go out on my own right now. I see the option of retiring from a sizable company as a better choice than trying to kill myself. I know Zach has talked about hating installs. I don't like installs for the hot attics and the low crawl spaces and the dirty conditions that you get into. But I prefer install over service for the fact that when you're done with an install job, more than likely you can sit back and see the fruit of your labor. But on a service call, you can clean a unit really nicely and make sure that the coil's clean and go the extra mile and scrub all the grime off of the cabinet. But in the end, there's not a huge visual change, and you don't get to appreciate the cooling that you've provided or the heating you've provided for very long. As soon as it's working, you have to go on to another house where the cooling's not working or the heating's not working and get right back in the middle of those nasty conditions. But anyway, 116. Wow. That's pretty warm, Mr. Vinyl. I like that name, buddy. Vinyl. All right, so I've definitely rambled on plenty long enough now. It's been 33 minutes and 20 seconds. So I'm going to sign off. I'm sitting in traffic, and I think I got a text message a little while ago, so I'm going to check that, see if the wife has some important information for me. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share. If you're not subscribed to my vlog channel, go check it out. Vlog with Stephen Rardon on YouTube. We're going to do the mouth guard challenge. So hop over there, hit subscribe, and I think we're going to make you laugh. We'll see y'all later. I don't think Ralph is in that because maybe you're missing my dream. I don't know, buddy. All right. We'll see you later. Bye.